So, to quote Maya Angelou, you may not control the events that happen in your life, but you can decide not to allow them to reduce you. We all know of Maya Angelou as the well-known international award-winning poet, screenwriter, author, playwright, and so many more titles. But many of you may not know that she also dealt with much discrimination and racism in her childhood. You may also not know that she tried her hand at many jobs, many diverse jobs, such as dancer, waitress, cook, and even as an escort, which she never was ashamed to make public. I have always admired Maya Angelou and her work, and I did much research on her, which I would like to share with you. To fully understand her life, it's important to look at her childhood, adulthood, and we will look at her later years. Maya Angelou was born in St. Louis, Missouri in April 4th, 1928. Her birth name was Marguerite Johnson, and her brother called her Mayo, hence her nickname, which she later used, Mayo, and Angelou from a previous marriage. Her parents divorced when she was at the tender age of 3, and she and her brother were sent to live with their maternal grandmother in Arkansas. That was the beginning of her traumatic experiences with racism. Maya Angelou also visited her mother in San Francisco, and it was on one of those visits that she was raped by her mother's boyfriend. Subsequently, according to world press history and her biographies, her uncles killed the rapist. And Maya Angelou stopped talking for a period of time, as long as 5 years, because she believed that she caused that man's death. Let's move on to her adulthood and her years on the continents of Europe and Africa. According to world biography and her autobiographies, she won a dance scholarship and she moved to San Francisco. And it was in San Francisco where Maya Angelou also became the first African-American cable car conductor. And that, there is a story about that. She achieved that through persistence and determination. It is recorded that she went to the office for 2 weeks straight, and she sat and read Russian poetry in defiance because she wanted that job. Eventually, she was given an application to fill out, and she was given a job. That's how she got that job. She later moved to New York and was part of Harlem's Writers Guild. That's where she met the famous James Baldwin, and he became her mentor. According to Christiane Doley, she also traveled with the production of Porgy and Bess, and that would have been in Europe, and there she did her only song album, which was called Miss Calypso. Again, according to Christiane Doley, Maya Angelou moved to Cairo, Egypt, and there she wrote for a weekly newspaper, and then she moved to Ghana, Africa, where she taught at a university. She taught music there. Now to look at her later years and her contributions to the civil rights movement and all of her accomplishments and awards. She worked closely in 1961 when she returned to the USA. She worked with Malcolm X in the civil rights movement. When Malcolm X was assassinated, she further continued to work with Dr. Martin Luther King. And sadly, when he was assassinated April 4th, 1968, on Maya Angelou's birthday, she was totally devastated. In 1961, her book, I Know Why the Caged Birds Sing, was published, which was based on her life. Dr. Angelou never attended college, but she received more than 50 honorary degrees from universities, numerous awards, 3 Grammy Awards, and a Tony Award. She spoke 6 languages besides English, and she also wrote 7 biographies. She taught philosophy, ethics, theology, and other subjects. She had her own Hallmark greeting cards, and she wrote 2 cookbooks. She was the first African American female member of the Directors Guild of America and the first African American female to be nominated for a Pulitzer Prize Award. She served under many presidencies on commissions, such as on commissions by President Ford, President Carter. She also read a poem at President Clinton's inauguration, as well as she received the Medal of Arts award from President Clinton. And in later years, according to World Biography and her autobiographies, she was awarded the Medal of Freedom by President Obama. To quote from her good friend Oprah Winfrey, Dr. Angelou, she said, "Maya Angelou is not what she has done or written or spoken. It's how she did it all. She moved through the world with unshakable calm, confidence, and a fiery, fierce grace, and abounding love," according to Waxler. Dr. Angelou died May 28, 2014 at the age of 86. A phenomenal woman of courage, strength, resilience, compassion, who decided not to allow events in her life to control her or reduce her. She once said in an interview with Christiane Doley, "Whatever you want to do, if you want to be great at it, you have to love it and be able to make sacrifices for it." In an interview with Noor Chandi, Dr. Angelou said, "I would like carved on my tombstone, I did my best. I hope you do the same." Dr. Angelou did not allow her life events to reduce her. She lived her life, and we continue to be inspired by her life and her work. Dr. Angelou, we thank you.